I used to have the skinniest arms, and in this video I'm going to show you guys exactly what worked for me to put at least 5 inches on my arms, probably a little bit more. First things first, we're getting right into the video here. If you want to grow your arms, the best way to do it is going to be to have a bulking phase, or at least to be in a slight caloric surplus. So if you're not eating enough food, if you're not gaining a little bit of weight, your arms are going to grow very, very slowly. This is not to say that you can't grow your arms if you're not in a bulking phase or if you're just maintaining the weight that you're at, but you're going to have way quicker results if you're actually trying to put on some weight here. I want you guys to get results as quickly as possible. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it, but in my mind, this is obviously going to be the best way to do it. So you're going to want to bulk slowly. You don't want to gain more than about 0.5 pounds or 1 pound a week. And 1 pound a week can be a little fast for some people. This is very dependent, so I would err on the side of caution because we don't want to over bulk you too fast. In a perfect scenario, you are gaining 0.5 pounds a week. No one can really do it. It's pretty hard to do unless you're a complete professional and your whole life is around bodybuilding and growing. Most people aren't doing that. So anywhere between 0.5 and 1 pound a week will work well. If you're getting like 2 pounds a week, that's way too fast, and cut down the calories a bit, and you can move accordingly based on how much weight you gain weekly. The biceps have 2 muscles and the triceps have 3 muscles. I've seen so many people focus so much on their biceps when they want arm growth and they don't focus enough on their triceps. You gotta think, the muscles you don't see, as in the muscles behind you, are people usually neglect. So the triceps are bigger than the biceps. So if you really wanna fill out your shirts, fill out your tanks, whatever you have, you're gonna really wanna focus on the triceps more, not neglect the triceps. The bigger your triceps, the bigger your arms are gonna be just because there's another muscle there. There's 3 versus 2. Make sure you are doing hammer curls. Hammer curls are gonna work the brachialis, and that is gonna make your arm thicker. This way, we're getting some width to the bicep. If you're just focused on the peak of your bicep and no width, you're never gonna get that look. If you have a big brachialis, it's gonna give the illusion of a bigger bicep, and we wanna look good and also be big at the same time. So make sure you're getting in your hammer curls. I would do this more towards the beginning of the workout because they're a little bit taxing, more taxing other bicep exercises because it's gonna work your forearms too. So that's gonna be a limiting factor there if you do it too late and you're already pretty gassed. I go heavy on these, but I'm also controlling the weight, not just using too much momentum. Whether you're training your biceps or your triceps, you're gonna wanna get a full range of motion. Do not cut the reps short. If you're cutting the reps short, you're not gonna get as much muscle growth as you possibly could. Pretty much all the biceps do is flex the elbow, just going from here to here. If you're not stretching the bicep fully, you're missing out on a lot of potential growth that you could be getting. And the same thing goes to the triceps. So if we're not coming all the way up on our tricep extensions and all the way back down, separating that rope, I don't know what attachment you're using for your tricep exercises, get a full range. If you are not getting full range, you are missing out on a huge amount of muscle stimulus. You don't want to use too much momentum. Most people don't have an issue with momentum when it comes to triceps. This is more of a biceps mistake. So you'll see a bunch of dudes in the gym, they're curling the bar, whatever they're curling, easy curl bar, whatever it is, and they're using their back to get the weight up. If you struggle with using too much momentum, you're gonna wanna use a wall or a seat. And a lot of my exercises, you'll see my back is against the seat, lifting the weights or curling the weights. Why I'm doing that? So if I'm in a seat, I can't rock back and forth, or at least it keeps me honest. A bonus point if you want to do strict curls. Strict curls are against a wall. I don't believe I have any footage of that on my phone right now, but your base, everything's the same. You're just curling with your elbows against the wall. And if you're against something like this, it's gonna force you to really just use your biceps, and it makes you not cheat. This really goes into any type of exercise you could be doing. If you aren't cheating, if you are specifically using the only muscle we're trying to target the most, you're gonna get way more out of it. So don't cheat your reps, don't use momentum, and you are going to blow up your arms. There are only a few ways that you're gonna really wanna train your triceps, and I'm gonna talk about the one that's the most forgotten. It's the overhead tricep extensions. If you're not doing anything over the head or right in front of you like this, you're gonna miss out on some potential tricep gains. So make sure you do not miss the overhead stuff because everyone's doing a regular push down when they're standing straight like this. But if you put the elbows up and lift it over yourself, you can potentially target different parts of the tricep. The studies are here and there, long head, short head, medial head. you kind of get everything when you're doing everything, but I like variety to make sure no stone is unturned. So make sure you're getting an overhead extension in if triceps are a lagging body part for you. When it comes to training frequency, if your goal is to grow your arms, then train your arms in at least twice a week. If you're not getting in twice a week, you're missing out on something you can potentially grow from. I personally, this is me personally, I like more of a bro split style of training. So we're training one body part at a time or one body group at a time. So I would like to specifically have an arm day. That means a full day for arms. Why? Because my arms were a lagging body part. I want to focus on it. We're having up to one arm day a week, but I'll put it in another day as well. So maybe on a back day, I'll do a little bit of biceps. On a chest day, I'll do a little bit of triceps, maybe 1 or 2 exercises, but that's making sure, since I already have an arm day earlier in the week, I'm going to also get some more stimulus later in the week. So make sure you're hitting your arms twice a week if you want to grow, because that frequency is going to be very important so you don't miss anything. Don't make arm training too complicated. Everyone says you got to train the most optimally. Well, pretty much, even if an exercise has a study where they say, oh, well, if you do this type of extension with this attachment, it's going to get more tricep activation by 30%. Those studies they're hit or miss. You got to really know how to research them and understand them to get the most out of it. So I wouldn't worry too much about what you're doing, as long as you were doing something like this for biceps and something like this. Don't care the angle for triceps. It's going to work the triceps. You can't really get around it. Just don't cheat the movement and you will be fine. What I like to do is find out what exercises work best for me. I have very long arms, so maybe certain things don't work as well for me. It takes a lot of time to fill out your frame if you have more length to you. So find out what works, try different things, mix and match. And if you watch my channel, I'm always preaching this. Find the exercise that you like the most, that you feel the most activation, that you're getting the best results from, and double, triple down on those. Because there's no point in following what someone else is doing when it's simply just not working, right? So we're gonna use the data we have on ourselves, because you watched my first video, my beginner's workout guide, which is very helpful. Make sure you go watch that for more overall training tips, nutrition, whatever. And you are going to get as much data on yourself to make the most educated decisions for you. So we're writing everything down, tracking our weights, tracking our progress, and trying to beat the weights or the reps that we did last week, because without progressive overload, nothing is going to change. You must stress the body in a way that it's not used to so it can adapt and grow new muscle tissue. There's no other way around it. So make sure you're doing some progressive overload as well if you're trying to grow these arms. I hope these tips are very helpful for you. If you're looking for more information, make sure to subscribe. We're posting weekly videos that you guys like. If there's anything you want to see, put it in the comments and I can make a video just for you.